a wall in it by itself is very divisive. I think people would agree with that. He's mentioned this huge, tall, deep, wide wall. When I think about a wall, I think about the wall of China, frankly. And obviously, as a mayor of Laredo, Texas, that borders Nuevo Laredo, Nuevo Laredo sits on the state of Tamaulipas, Mexico. And the connection that we have, business-wise, family-wise, culture-wise, there's a psychological, impact there, and it disrupts the economy. Frankly, we're so heavily dependent on each other.
Tell me more about the impact this will have on business and trade in Laredo.
Laredo and the Nuevo Laredo port both serve as the #1 land port for the entire Americas, for the entire continent. Our port alone handles over 40%, 46% of all U.S. Mexico trade. So the impact is huge. And we provide value not only for the state of Texas, but for the entire nation.
And for that to continue, the United States and Mexico have to have good relations. And this wall, there's a risk that it could really sour relations between the two countries.
Well, it does. There's a huge risk, and it has soured relations to a certain extent. Frankly, it's created this uncertainty. We understand we're with President Trump when it comes to securing the border. We, as a border community, are the first ones to say we need security, but we disagree on the form, on the way he wants to accomplish that. We're proposing a virtual wall, not a physical wall, but a virtual wall. It's 3 or 4 components, primarily visibility. We can clear lines of sight. Primarily, we have 2 very invasive vegetation species. It's like a cane, carrizo. Yeah, we call it carrizo cane. It's very dense. It's like a reed type of a vegetation. Number 2 would be river roads, roads that parallel the river for accessibility. We need people to quickly access the river. And 3, is high-tech technology, detectors, monitoring equipment, aerostats. We use those balloons now. Towers with all sorts of high-tech equipment. So we're proposing that, and of course more people on the ground. People there in Laredo, Border Patrol people are good for the economy. They purchase, they buy homes, they just it's good for economic development. So, and we work very closely with the federal agencies there. And so we're for that. We want border security.
What will Laredo, the state of Texas, and the United States as a whole look like if this physical wall that President Trump envisions is built?
Well, obviously it's a divisive, and it just will sour the relationship. Mexico may turn and do something differently. And as it is now, it's very symbiotic. We depend on each other. 40% of all purchases in our city are done by Mexican nationals. NAFTA is crucial to us. If NAFTA some way, somehow, and of course NAFTA, we know it's the North American Free Trade Agreement. If that disappears, Laredo wouldn't be the city that we are. But I know President Trump has raised these issues of looking into NAFTA, and we're not opposed to that too, and we're willing for it to be amended or tweaked or changed somewhat, but not done away with. We need NAFTA, and I think overall there's a consensus now toward that end to possibly tweak it and make it for both sides, and I think we're all willing to do that. I think it's time, frankly, to look at that.